whenever you get people coming on social media, what does she know? Is she even watching the game? And you're like, dude, if you could see the 8 to 10 hours of prep that go into one weekend of coverage, maybe you'd pipe down, but probably not. You know when you're sitting down to watch the game at the weekend, whatever the game might be, and you have the studio presentation before and after, do you have any idea of the prep that goes into those couple of minutes of live television? Do you want to see? Come with me as I prep for a weekend of Quilter Nation Series rugby. It might just blow your mind. First things first, I must apologise if you can hear drilling behind me. There is a full, maybe 5 floor extension being built in the building behind us in central Amsterdam, and it's been going on for about a year. It's doing my head in. Stop the banging! The first game I'm prepping for is Italy-Australia. This will be coming off the back of another match, and so we will probably have 3 minutes conversation before this game actually starts. 3 minutes! And this is what I've got to prep. This is my little notebook for the weekend. Oh, whose sweetie wrapper is that? I have my own notes. Then I am copy, pasting, highlighting all the relevant bits of information. Then we move on to France, South Africa, the big game of the weekend. Essential tools for this bit: notes, scissors, Brit stick, highlighter, and a pen. Off we go. For anyone who's interested, this isn't actually how I usually do my prep. I usually handwrite everything. But because I've got double the games this weekend, can you hear that? It's double the prep, and I just thought this might make it a little bit easier. I started my prep on Monday. The games are on Saturday. I have set aside an hour and a half to 2 hours every day to concentrate just on the rugby. I haven't been doing as much rugby coverage this season, so I've got to prep a little bit more. When I'm doing the cycling, I need less prep because I do cycling so much. But I have to give exactly the same amount of love to rugby, which I do love, so it takes a bit more preparation. But just in terms of writing notes, each of these games so far has probably taken me 3 to 4 hours for each of the games. I've done 8 hours of prep for what will be 1 hour of live television, all up between the 2 games. And I'm not finished with the prep yet. I'm not even finished. But here's the thing. I cannot under-prepare for something. It just stresses me out. It keeps me away. The easiest looking presenting is the one that's taken the most work. So that those 5 to 25 minutes of live television look like you swam downstream in a river. Although that sounds like a bit of an out of control analogy, which might be quite accurate. Scribbling, copying, pasting, all done. All of that obviously has to end up in my head so that for those 3 minutes of conversation, which will realistically be 1 question to each of our pundits. All that info has to be in my head anyway, because I don't yet know what I'm going to say. Same for halftime, and of course for the post-game review. Note-taking is only part of it. I also have several meetings during the week, binging any and every rugby podcast in the week before a game. Of course, making sure that I'm across all of the news. Then, of course, trying to decide what to wear. Not sure I've quite decided, but I've got to go and pack. So on to the packing, and I'm a little bit gutted, because I really wanted to wear this lovely pleather. We call it vegan leather now, let's be honest, it's pleather. H&M skirt with this gorgeous little waistcoat. However, the shoe I really wanted to wear, and I get it if nobody has sympathy for this, but it's just the pain of everything that goes into television, do you know what I mean? I need to find one of my shoes. And I don't have the energy or the time to look for another because I'm about to go on the school run to pick up my kids. So I'm going to bring these summery ones and see if they feel all right. But it means I've got to pack extra outfits. Packing 3 outfits. I tried on 5 or 6 the other day. I got it down to 1 and I'm back up to 3. Oh, surely there's a more efficient way of doing this, shizzle. So in goes the red suit. In goes the cream, all the same. Excuse me, I'm folding one-handed here. Hang on a minute, by the magic of editing. Ta-da! Got them all in. There we go. So I've got all my work options packed on one side. I need to put in some jewellery. and then I need to pack pajamas and something to wear back again on the flight the next morning, and I'm good to go. A lot easier than packing for 3 weeks of a grand tour, I can tell thee. In London. I left home 4 hours ago after walking the dog, heading to the airport, doing some prep still along the way, flying from Amsterdam to London, and now setting up in here. I will be based here for the next 9 hours. It's 1:15. I'll be on air until 10:30 tonight. So let me take you through the next bit of getting on air. So I just had a quick chat with the producer for our shows today, Andy Hill. And I'm going to iron my clothes and then get stuck into hair and makeup. That process takes about 90 minutes. This is the makeup room. Start off my studio prep by ironing. It's so funny how during the cycling coverage, I get so used to being in here every day. It just becomes routine. And now I haven't been here in about 2 months. And I love it. I love the excitement of being behind the scenes of TV. I love being in a makeup room. I love being in a production meeting. It's that sort of thrill that you get of working in live television, which you can forget naturally whenever you work in it every single day. But whenever you're dipping in and out, as I get to do with the rugby, it just reminds me of how much I love it. Even the ironing. I don't love using an iron that I'm not used to, though. I don't love that. I feel like there's too much margin for disaster. It can vomit its dirty iron water all over my lovely clothes. It can have a different heat setting, and, you know, whenever it leaves that sort of shininess on it. So I do get nervous using an iron that's not mine. This is actually a very good suit because it's been in my case and it barely needs an iron. Well done, Mango. Is this a Mango suit? Hi. So from hair and makeup, then I will meet the rest of our on-air team. We will have a production meeting. I'll do some pre-records in the studio, rehearsal, and then on air to build up to Italy, Australia. We will have a total of some 2 minutes to build up to that game. All of this prep is for a 2-minute build-up. Then we have our halftime, and then about 8 minutes at the end. We're looking at maximum of 15 minutes of live television. That's just how it goes. And by the way, if any of this is sounding like a complaint, I love this. I love it. I get to spend all week focusing on rugby. I get to turn up and watch 2 international games back to back for my job. I mean, it doesn't get much better.
Stand by. 3.
Thank you, Emma. Yes. And that is it. We've had 20 to 25 minutes of chat on the first game, but a decent chunk of time to talk in the second. Regardless, well worth all the prep. There's no way I could come into those games not doing the amount of work that I do. So that's what it takes.